finally got my hands on the Samsung Galaxy S9. So I got this thing on Friday, today's Tuesday, so I've been playing around with the Samsung Galaxy S9 for the past almost 4 days. And this is the regular S9, there's also Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus that I got, and I got that one in Coral Blue. That's the new color. There you go, Coral Blue. And I'll be taking a look at this phone in my next video, so definitely subscribe and enable notifications if you want to see this one as soon as it comes out. This is a pretty unique color, and obviously it's an S9 Plus rather than an S9, so it comes with quite a lot of new features over the regular Samsung Galaxy S9. But yeah, there you go, my unboxing and my first impressions of the Samsung Galaxy S9, so grab some snacks, such as popcorn, and enjoy. Okay, so taking a look at the actual box, on the front we get an iPhone 6s logo. Oh wait, no, that's wrong video. On the front of the box we get a Samsung Galaxy S9 logo. And if you compare this box to the S8 box from last year, you can see that they look pretty much identical. Obviously I have the S8 Plus box, but if you take a look at the logo, the blue logo on the front, it's basically in the exact same position. So these boxes look really similar to one another. Other than that, we have a Samsung Galaxy S9 logo on the top left. We get a capacity, which in my case is the 64GB baseline model on the bottom left, and then we don't really get anything on the side, so we don't have anything on the right side, and on the left we actually get a color, which in this case is Midnight Black. And now taking a look at the back of the box, we get a listing of all the specs. So the 12 megapixel dual aperture camera, we get a dual stereo speakers tuned by AKG, basically exactly the same specs and exactly the same as we've seen in that leaked box image that I've talked about in my previous leak summary series of the Samsung Galaxy S9. So if we take a look at those two, they pretty much look identical. Okay, so let me just cut the seal. The seal has been broken and you just slide the box open, so similar to how the S8 box was. And then there's actually a second seal which I need to cut, so let me just cut this as well. And that's pretty much it. You just open the box like this, so there's no magnetic tab like on the S7 Edge boxes, which were pretty cool. Yeah, just the standard box, which, you know, it's just cardboard. And inside the box, the first thing that we get is actually this booklet designed by Samsung in South Korea. Not really, but yeah, we get this booklet. Inside this, we get a SIM eject tool, which is again the same as the one we got with Samsung Galaxy S8. It's a pretty cool looking SIM eject tool, but nothing too special. We get a quick start guide, which basically tells you the main buttons, how to get started with the S9. And then we also get another booklet, which is how to transfer content to your brand new Samsung Galaxy S9 from, let's say, an iPhone or hashtag Team Pixel. And other than that, we get a warranty and a safety guide. And finally, well, that's pretty much it. We don't get any Samsung stickers. I really think that Samsung should be adding some Samsung stickers with the Samsung Galaxy S10. Let me know in the comments if you want to see some actual Samsung stickers with Samsung devices in the box. That would be pretty cool to see. And there you go, the Samsung Galaxy S9 just sitting there. So let me just take this and put it to the side for just 1 second and take a look at what else we get inside the box. So the first thing that we get are these headphones tuned by AKG. These are some pretty good headphones. They're not amazing, but they're not bad either. Other than that, we also get a few replacement earbuds for the headphones. So yeah, a few different sizes and a few more earbuds if you need those. And then we also get a charging cable, which is USB-C to USB-A. Now, this is, you know, nothing really special about this cable. I just wish this one was USB-C to USB-C so that you could use it with, you know, laptops or tablets and charge it from there as well. We then get a power adapter, which in my case is the UK model, because, you know, I live in the UK. This is actually a really compact power adapter. The third foot is actually retractable, which not a lot of UK power adapters come with. So this is actually a really good charger, one of my favorite designs in terms of UK power adapters. And then we also get two more things. So the first one is a micro USB to USB-C adapter, so that you can pretty much use your old chargers and old accessories, such as, for example, the first generation Gear VR. And then the second thing that we get is this USB-C to USB-A adapter, which is actually extremely useful for connecting a USB drive. Yes, you can do that. A USB hard drive. Yes, you can even do that as well. Or you can just use this thing to transfer data from your old phone to your Samsung Galaxy S9. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing else left inside the box. So let me just take the plastic wrap off. And let's set this thing up, let's boot it up, and let's set this up. Okay, so I've been using the Samsung Galaxy S9, so the smaller S9 for the past almost 4 days now, and here's my first actual impressions, my initial review of the Samsung Galaxy S9. Okay, so first things first, holding this thing in the hand, the S9 feels so small. It's actually a really compact phone. So I was using the S8 Plus last year, and that was a pretty large device, but this thing is really compact. You can easily use it with one hand, so yeah, in terms of how it feels and how it looks, it feels really good. It's a compact phone, but it looks really similar to the Samsung Galaxy S8 from last year. So if you compare this side by side to the S8, they look really, really similar. Now, I don't really have the small S8, I have the S8 Plus. The bezels are a bit thinner on the S9, but not by that much. So it's not really something that you would notice unless you look side by side at both of these phones. Now, another change with the S9 is something that I haven't really seen anyone talk about, and that's the actual frame. So on the S8, basically the back, the frame, and the front, they all looked like as if it was just one material, because the frame was made out of this glossy, it was basically polished aluminum. Now, on the S9, it's just raw, unpolished aluminum. So basically, you know, the frame stands out a lot from the actual device. So instead of being black, glossy black, now it's sort of like a matte gray, a lighter gray. So yeah, I don't think it looks as good as the S8. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this, but in my opinion, it looks worse than the S8 because it just doesn't blend in with the actual phone. Now, something else that I've noticed in terms of the S9 is the actual display. So the display definitely looks better than the S8's display. Not by a lot, but it's definitely brighter. The colors are a bit better. So Samsung bumped the brightness to about the same level as the Note 8's display, which is 1200 nits. That's peak brightness on a 10% window, so it's not on the full display. But yeah, overall the display is better than the S8's display from last year. Now, another change with the S9 is actually on the back of the phone. So now the fingerprint reader is in the middle instead of being on the back on the right. So it's a bit more easier to reach, but it's not as good as the Pixel's fingerprint reader, which is, you know, dead center in the middle, and it's also round. So this is it's quite small. So I would say it's a bit difficult to feel. And yes, sometimes you will confuse it with the actual camera because, you know, it's on the same frame essentially. So yeah, it's a bit better than the S8, but it's not as good as on the Pixel, for example. But overall, the S9 is a much more compact smartphone than for something like an S8 Plus or an S9 Plus. But I kind of like it overall. I do prefer the S9 Plus because of the dual camera module and also the extra 3GB of RAM. So unfortunately this year, Samsung added quite a lot of new features to the S9 Plus versus the S9. So we get, again, 2GB of extra RAM on the S9 Plus, we get a better camera, as opposed to last year when it was just, you know, the S8 and the S8 Plus were pretty much the same phone, just one of the most larger, with a larger battery. But this year, there's so many more reasons to get the S9 Plus over the smaller S9. Now, a few more things that I do want to mention. The first thing is actually the speed. So this phone definitely feels a bit faster than the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus from last year. So yeah, it's more fluid. It runs on Android 8.0 versus 7.0. Yes, we still have 7.0 on the Samsung Galaxy S8. They haven't been updated yet. Still waiting. Come on, Samsung. But yeah, speed-wise, it feels faster than the Samsung Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus from last year. Not by a lot, but it's definitely faster. Also, Samsung's restore function is horrible. So keep in mind that I have a backup for the Google account and for the Samsung account. So pretty much everything on my S8 was fully backed up, and Samsung just couldn't restore all of my data exactly as it was on my S8 to my S9. I did this restore process like 4 times, it failed 3 times, and the 4th time it kind of worked, but you know, I never got all the apps back, and obviously the home screen is still a mess, and the apps, my folders, aren't really that organized. So yeah, if you want to restore all of your previous data to your new phone, you have to use a third-party launcher or a third-party backup solution, or just use an iOS device or a Google Pixel. So yeah, transferring my data from my S8 Plus to my S9 was a huge pain. I spent basically an entire day just doing this because they kept failing over and over again, possibly because Samsung servers were full, but still, just something that I really wanted to mention. Also, we still don't have double tap to wake. Why? Why, Samsung? Why don't we have double tap to wake? And also, the charging port on the bottom still isn't centered. Why, Samsung? But also on the bottom, we get a new speaker. So we have a redesigned speaker tuned by AKG on the bottom, and then we have another speaker on the top, which is basically the earpiece, which now acts as a speaker as well. So with the S9, we now get dual stereo speakers, which actually sound pretty good. They're not amazing, but they're actually pretty good. They're not as great as the Razer phone speakers, but they're pretty good. And then also a pretty big change to the S9 is the dual aperture camera. So this is something really cool and really unique. You get 2 apertures on the S9, you get f1.5 and an f2.4 aperture, and they switch automatically depending on how much light gets into the sensor. So yeah, this is something that I will be testing in a few separate videos, so definitely subscribe and enable notifications for those Zone of Tech ultimate camera comparisons like I've done before, like 20 tests, basically testing everything from the bitrate to the portrait mode, time-lapse, panorama, basically lots of tests coming in the camera comparison. So definitely stay tuned for those, and also stay tuned for the ultimate speed tests between the Samsung Galaxy S9 and quite a few phones. Let me know in the comments what phones do you want me to compare and test. And this has been pretty much it. Let me know also in the comments, what do you guys think about the Samsung Galaxy S9 overall? Do you think it's a good upgrade, or do you think this thing is mostly an S8 and the S9 Plus is actually worth it or not? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, there we go. This has been pretty much it. Stay tuned for this. This is a pretty cool device, really different from this, especially since this is the Core Blue S9. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm Daniel. For videos you like, if you enjoyed it, let me know. See you guys in my next one. Pretty awkward ending once again. Zone of Tech, signing out. Cheers.